Back over to Marty for race 19.
Race 19 it is, they're on the line down there, and previous race winner in this one, number 2, Trevor Banks, and number 17, Joe Screen. Well, they leave their line down there, and they're going hell for leather to the first turn. Trevor Banks is just squeezing a few yards in front at the moment. Joe Screen coming up there. Half goes on, and getting after Trevor Banks. Trevor Banks goes very wide. Joe Screen gets up on the inside. Joe Screen takes the lead from number 2, Trevor Banks, then 7, Gary Lobb, then 31, Chris Tritton. So, Joe Screen really out with a vengeance here this afternoon. He won his first one, as did Trevor Banks. Now he's going to win the second one, and Trevor Banks is pushing hard in second place. At stake this afternoon, the Silver Helmet and the Battle of Hastings. So round they come. 2 titles to be taken this afternoon. The Battle of Hastings winner and the Silver Helmet. So round they come. Joe Screen. From number 2, Trevor Banks. Then number 7, Gary Lobb, 31. Chris Tritton, then 86, Paul Hurry, who's trying hard to come up into 4th place at the moment, trying to get past Chris Tritton, and he gets it on the inside, and he's done it, he's there. Paul Hurry goes into 4th place. 17, then Joe Screen comes in, up goes the front wheel, fighting, walking around like a beast together. Race 19, from Trevor Banks, Gary Lobb, Paul Hurry, Chris Tritton, Paul Mitchell, and the rest. Oh, another fantastic win there for number 17, Joe Screen. He managed to get on the inside of Trevor Banks coming around that first turn.
And in 9th place, 161, Mike Webster. Winner's time, 1 minute 26.93 seconds. Again, 17, 2, 7, 86, 31, 29, 04, 25 and 161. Winner's time, 1 minute 26.93 seconds. Over to Martin again for race 20.
So, looking at those times already, Simon Wigg has improved on his best time of the afternoon. Joe Screen, I'm sure, yes, he was 2 seconds faster in his second ride compared with his first ride, but still Simon Wigg setting the fastest pace of the afternoon. Vincent Kinchin goes into an early lead in this one. Alan Palmer trying to ride right there. Leads number 68, Alan Palmer, that leads now. On the Godden, from the laid down Godden of Vincent Kinchin. From Darren Sutton holding a good 3rd place, then Jason Jennett. Then Jason Hilliard. And Steve King. From number 8, who had a disastrous first ride, but is slowly getting to grips with the afternoon. Then number 10, Darren Sutton, then Jason Jennett and Jason Hilliard, Steve King. So no wheelies from Alan Palmer, he's keeping his wheels firmly on the ground, keeping it. Number 68, Alan Palmer, from number 8, Vincent Kinchin. Body colours coming to grip there. Darren Sutton holding a good 3rd, then Jason Hilliard, Jason Jennett, Steve King, then 133. Which is of course the additional rider in this one, Jeff Sims. So the checkered flag goes this time. This is the win, the first win of the afternoon for number 68, Alan Palmer. Followed home close by then Darren Sutton, Jason Hilliard, Jason Jennett, Steve King, Jeff Sims, and Brian Cornelius.
66, 133 and 48. No other finishers. Winner's time 1 minute 30.79 seconds. On to race 21, and this is going to be another battle because we've already seen that one between Mark Wadsworth, John Dormer and Carl Wilkes before. But on top of that we've got Steve Deeren, Kevin Lanchester, John Pilcher, Stephen King, and that's it, because Alan Palmer's a non-starter. And they're off. And there's only, well, that's a bad sort of start, but Coming to the line again, and they're away. John Dormer gets a good break, so does Mark Wadsworth. It's Mark Wadsworth on the inside, John Dormer on the outside. Steve Deeren coming up there very quickly, Carl Wilkes also. But it's Mark Wadsworth into the corner first, with John Dormer going around the outside. Mark Wadsworth it is, with John Dormer. And Steve Deeren and Carl Wilkes. The battle's on between Mark Wadsworth and John Dormer. Mark Wadsworth takes the lead from John Dormer. And really getting his finger out down that back straight. It's Mark Wadsworth on the Honda Britain with John Dormer on his BRM Suzuki in second place. From Carl Wilkes in third. Then Steve Deeren. Then Kevin Lanchester. Then John Pilcher. Mark Wadsworth certainly got the bit between his teeth this time. He's pulling the stops out away from John Dormer. But John Dormer holding on second, but Carl Wilkes is pressing hard as Steve Deeren comes up there quickly. It's Carl Wilkes trying to go around the outside of John Dormer, then switching to the inside. It's Mark Wadsworth now on his last lap. Carl Wilkes in second from John Dormer. Then Steve Deeren and Kevin Lanchester, and then Robin Pilcher bringing up the rear. The leader pulling away, and it's Carl Wilkes moving up into second as John Dormer's not giving up one bit. As I said earlier on, it's his last ride on the 250 this today. He's pulling out of 250s and going back to 500. There's win for Mark Wadsworth from Carl Wilkes, John Dormer, Steve Deeren, Kevin Lanchester. And we seem to have lost John Pilcher.
My number only, 344. 248, 76, 433, 143, 1 minute 34.03, and I think that John Dormer's using tactics here and not showing Mark Wadsworth everything he can do and saving it for the final. Over to Don for the rest of the 250s.
Yes, we got Ritchie Knight, who's was leading until this one, and they're away, and it's Ritchie Knight once again gets a good start into the lead there as he goes up that back straight. Dean Camier in second, then Terry Giles in third, Brian Cornelius. Ritchie Knight in the lead from Dean Camier, somebody's dropped it there. Terry Giles, Brian Cornelius, Mark Giles, Robin Pilcher and Alan Dan. The rider to drop it I think was Jamie Pantry. Ritchie Knight being chased by Dean Camier. Dean Camier going into the corner fast. Ritchie going a little bit wide, letting Dean Camier through, but no, still Ritchie Knight holding on with Terry Giles still in third. Dean Camier trying to get through, but he can't. He's trying hard as Ritchie Knight still holds that lead. Dean Camier comes into the corner for harder and faster, but still can't catch Ritchie Knight. They're coming up now to take the last lap, Tabby. Ritchie Knight, Dean Camier, Terry Giles, Brian Cornelius, Mark Giles, Robin Pilcher, and Alan Dan bringing up the rear as the action's still down that back straight as they go into the last bend for the last time. Dean Camier trying all he knows. Is he going to get round it? Come on, tight on the inside. It's going to be a close one. It's Ritchie Knight still holding it. He knows he's there. A win for Ritchie Knight from Dean Camier, Terry Giles, Brian Cornelius, Mark Giles with problems, I think, and Robin Pilcher with Alan Dan and Jamie Pantry to come round.
And from the top, 229, 44, 300, 48, 26, 174, 20, 120, no ninth finish at a winner's time, 1 minute 35.94. Over to Don for the final 250 leg of the afternoon.
And in this we've got Wayne Andrews, Rob Andrews, Julian Phipps, David Mears, Jason Stott, Ian Rutter, Arthur Livings and Terry Howe. So should be in for another good one. So it's all systems go in their away. Wayne Andrews on the inside gets a good start, but it's Ian Rutter who takes the lead as they go down that back straight into the first corner. Ian Rutter with Jason Stott and Wayne Andrews. Ian Rutter from Jason Stott. Wayne Andrews, Terry Howe, Julian Phipps, Arthur Livings. And the battle's on between the two riders from Kidderminster and can't remember where Ian Rutter comes from. Ian Rutter still holding that lead from Jason Stott. Wayne Andrews still holding third, then Terry Charles, and Terry Howe, then Julian Phipps. But the battle's still on between those two riders from up the Midlands, Ian Rutter and Jason Stott. Jason Stott got the inside, Ian Rutter got the outside, and Jason Stott's taken the lead. Still got David Mears there going well in 5th place. Jason Stott just holding on to that lead as they go into the bend for the last time. Ian Rutter trying to go round the outside, switching to the inside. It's going to be a close one, but Jason Stott's going to hang on. A win for Jason Stott from Ian Rutter, Wayne Andrews, Terry Howe, David Mears, Julian Phipps, Arthur Livings. And over to Martin for the result of that one.
Inside car class?
Yes, unfortunately that very far third leg. That's unfortunate because he's really been going well. As I said, I've said so many times about Tim, he gets fantastic starts. Unfortunately, he doesn't always win, but he gets these terrific starts. Sorry we shan't be seeing him anymore this afternoon.
On to race 24 then, and we get 99, Pete Colvin and Adam Coper-Smith. 151, Mick Cameron and Kevin Simmons. 55, Jerry Adams and Sean Pittock. 23, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola. 13, John Halsey and Chris Skipper. Number 3, Alan and John Blewett. Those riders coming to the line for race number 24. Quick note, Bob Ruffles videos, he's got the Wimborne Whopper up there for £8. The Wimborne Whopper on tape for £8. Up that straight they go then, very fast indeed, and number 99, Pete Colvin and Adam Coper-Smith take up the running in the first turn. Being very hard pressed into that turn, but he's not given into that sort of pressure. Round comes 99, Pete Colvin on the outside. Lovely, and number 23, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola push their way through into first place. So number 151, Mick Cameron and Kevin Simmons, obviously getting used to each other's riding tactics as they come round there. 22 then, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola at half distance. Ahead of Pete Colvin and Adam Coper-Smith. That is Gary Jackson. Must have said 22 earlier. 23. Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola still leading from Pete Colvin. Gary Jackson's come up into third. Then Alan and John Blewett. Where is Mick Cameron? Up to third place and going extremely well. Oh, around the turn they come then to take that checkered flag. It's 23, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola. Then 99, Pete Colvin and Adam Coper-Smith. Then John Halsey and Chris Skipper, followed by Alan and John Blewett. Not sure whether Mick Cameron, Kevin Simmons will push that vehicle over the line or not.
Just wait for the old man to push over. That's some pushover, that, Mick. Right, result of race 24. A win there for number 23, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola.
Saturday evening before the Remembrance Sunday, and there will be no motorcycle sport held on Remembrance Sunday. It's one of the rules of the ACU that we do not run on Remembrance Sunday. It's a quiet Sunday, so no meetings on the 10th of November. You can all afford to be at the Wild Duck restaurant at Mardenthorne for the Mason Aces presentation dinner disco, a 3-course meal. Tickets are mere £12.50 each from Pete and Pearl's Photographs. Pete and Pearl's Photographs for your Wild Duck tickets, £12.50 a piece.
Some wild duck going about, eh?
He was pretty wild. That bloke was trying to wring his neck, I can tell you. Grove Park Motorcycle Club, the Grove Park Motorcycle Club. Awards Night Disco. Halstead Village Hall near Sevenoaks on Saturday, November the 16th. So we're getting into, we've got another hold up on the line, a little bit more of that. Then 7:30 to 11:45, licensed bar and buffet. Tickets £5. Contact Mrs. Chris Baxter. Mrs. Chris Baxter, that's the wife of 88 Mike Baxter. Contact her for the tickets at £5 each. This race is underway, race number 25. A little bit short, no Tim Bennett, no Richard Piggott, no Chris Etheridge, with additional runner, number 11, Paul Penfold. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dales then go into the lead. Neville Penfold and John Mitten holding a good second there with Phil machine, or Gary Moon's machine, I believe it is, that he's riding. Looked to be coughing and spluttering a bit of smoke out there earlier, but he's still taking part, or is he? It looks like he's really slowed up again. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dales lead. From number 2, Neville Penfold and John Mitten. Then Richard Jenner and Nick Walters. Then Paul Penfold and Steve Robbins at the back of the moment. Season class coming to an end now, and you can see the awards nights and presentation nights coming into the fore. Don't miss them. There's Grasstrack right through the winter if you want it. 15, Ivor Matthews and Mick Dales. From number 2, Neville Penfold and John Mitten. Then Paul Penfold and Steve Robinson got back up into 3rd place. Relegation. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dales certainly showing that they are positive national runners up to the grade required in this race. Number 15. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dales lead. From number 2, Neville Penfold and John Mitten. Paul Penfold and Steve Robbins. I would think only a mechanical failure could rob them. Round the turn they come, winding up that motor. Little look behind by the passengers. All safe and sound, and a fine win for number 15. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dales. From number 2, Neville Penfold and John Mitten, and then number 11, Paul Penfold and Steve Robbins, and in 4th place was number 87, Richard Jenner and Nick Walters. Well, more fine grass track action there, and over to Dom for the official result.
But before doing so, he did start to say about meetings and so forth. Don't forget next week's meeting, the Kent Sidecar Club at Woolpack Corner, Bindon, and don't forget it's billed as the Blaster, and we're also having a blast from the past with John Shears and Johnny White, Mick Saunders and Ken Temple, Ronnie Young, what passenger he's got I don't know, Dave Oranger and Johnny Pout, Gary Smith and Alan Rouse, Ron Waters and Graham Croucher, Peter Duke, and over to Martin. There's only 3 outfits there.
Looks like only 3 outfits, so I think we'll probably be short of Rob Cameron and Martin Baker. But they're away, and it's Rob Wilson that gets out the lead. Rob and Paul Baseby in 2nd place. With the going off the line, it was Roger Measer there in 3rd. But Roger Measer overhauled Paul Baseby on the 3rd. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones lead. Vince Jones in those unfamiliar leathers, but the familiar style of Vince Jones, nearly laying on the floor as they come round there. 24, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones lead then. Right up his exhaust pipe now is 51, Roger Measer and Steve Bailey. And then Bob and Paul Bailey. I would have been proud to have had these 3 men in it, and here they are, the only 3 men left in a heat. Shows the calibre of racing we've got this afternoon. Rob Wilson drifts a little bit wide. Roger Measer comes up on the inside, but he's not quite got enough motor to get there yet. It's Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Bob Baseby's rolled over, and we do have red flags, so the race being stopped. Bob and Paul Baseby down there on the paddock turn, and Bob's sitting upright at the moment. He looks like he's getting up. I think they're all up and okay. Bob looks a little bit winded, but I think he'll be all right. Bad luck there for Bob and Paul Baseby. They've been going extremely well this season. Bob back after a serious mishap, and certainly shows he lacks none of the courage and pluck that makes a good grass track rider.
Get some of your weight there, running. Come back. Over to Martin now for race 27, which is the last heat of the third leg of the right-hand side cars.
An impressive lineup we have in this one too, but just before I get into that, don't forget the remaining meetings of this season. Don's just done the past blaster. So the past blaster is underway. Then we get the Ace of Aces that last year was not officially, I must add, but billed as the World Championship grass track, with riders coming from more countries than ever to take part, and I'm sure we've got an equally impressive lineup this year. Ian Barkley hasn't passed anything through the window this afternoon, so I can't give you an official list of riders, but it generally reads like a who's who of grass track, and that will be on Sunday the 27th of October at Winterbourne Gunner near Salisbury. Winterbourne Gunner near Salisbury for the Ace of Aces. Sunday the 27th of October. Don't miss that one. Race number 27 comes to line in Alan Murray and Tudor Acorn, Russell and Paul Uriot, Steve Jewison and Dave Ward, with 2 wins under his belt so far this afternoon. Mark Wells and Kevin Jarvis, Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby. That's the lineup for race 27, which is now underway, and up that first straight they come. Only 4 outfits in this one, and Rustling makes it the start up to the line. And then Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby holding a good third. So Rustling on the racing Kawasaki, and then Steve Jewison on the Miller Drifter 1000 Godden V twin. Trying to go around the outside of Rustling. It's a long way round though. Can he do it? He drifts a little bit wide. Rustling cuts a nice tight line, but who's it going to be? It's Steve Jewison as they come past here. At half distance, Steve Jewison has made up and taken the advantage over Rustling. Round that pit's turn they come, the last lap flag in their side. It's number 4, Steve Jewison and Dave Ward, and then number 6, Rustling and Paul Uriot, then Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby. Outfit number 4. Out of that turn and takes that checkered flag. Another win for Steve Jewison and Dave Ward, from Rustling and Paul Uriot in second. Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby, followed by Mark Wells and Kevin Jarvis. Well, it's good to see, as I said earlier, Steve Jewison on form, and is absolutely on form. This is race 28. The solos are underway and the red flag is up. We have somebody left.
Grass trackers since the early 30s. Happy birthday to you, 19-year-old twins, Ian and Jeffrey Tapsell. Don't get too drunk on your 19th birthday, but enjoy yourself. Especially if you're driving, like Martin and I are. Are we? No, I'm not. Oh.
Away we go then, race number 28. Joe Screen seemed to have the advantage there, but Paul Hurry comes right up on side. Joe Screen, though, takes the advantage into the turn. Paul Hurry on in the second place, and then Tracy picking up in third. So Joe Screen is up in front where he left off before the rerun. 17, Joe Screen. Not sure exactly of his age now. I think he's still only 18 years of age. Joe Screen, front wheel up in the air, and he's on his way to victory yet again. I'm sure he's had 2 wins in the start. hard in second place, then David Steen still in third and Peter Lloyd in fourth. Tremendous lineup of riders here this afternoon. And all compliments should be aimed at Andrew Downey and Graham Hurry for putting on. Changes that from Wheelie, takes that wagon. Paul Murray still holding on in there in second place. Then David Steen and Peter Lloyd, Chris Britton, Ricky Sanford and Darren Sutton. So those positions remaining unchanged, and Joe Screen just wheeling right the way along that straight. It's sure to be a good final with Wonder Wigg and Joe Screen. Joe Screen comes down there with that front wheel in the air again. The checkers back goes. Another win for Joe Screen. From Paul Hurry, David Steen, Peter Lloyd, Chris Tritton, Ricky Sanford and Darren Sutton. Well, a very on-form Joe Screen. Have to compare the times of this last leg.
In fourth place, number 4, Peter Lloyd. In fifth place, number 31, Chris Tritton. In sixth place, 04, Ricky Sanford. And in seventh place, number 10, Darren Sutton. No 8th or 9th finisher. Winner's time 1 minute 28.63 seconds. Again 17, 86, 25, 4, 31, 04 and 10. Winner's time 1 minute 28.63 seconds.
On to race number 29, and we're only 2 races away from the interval. Things really flying here this afternoon. I expect we'll have quite a long interval this afternoon to sort out the points and things, and as it's such a nice afternoon, I'm sure you won't mind queuing up for the burger, ice cream, video, tiny trackers, fish and chips, pint of beer, you name it, it's all here for you. This is race 29 with Jason Jennett, Jason Hilliard, Simon Wigg, Brian Cornelius, Alan Farmer. Away they go then, in race number 29, it's Wonder Wigg that leads again. Simon Wigg goes straight into the lead. And the silver helmet. Simon Wigg, Gary Lobb, Alan Farmer, Vincent Kinchin, Jason Jennett, Jeff Sims, Jason Hilliard and Brian Cornelius. And down goes one, and I missed who it was. Somebody's gone down there. Whoever was behind Vincent Kinchin has gone down. Round against Simon Wigg with that front wheel in the air a little bit early that time, and he goes across along the front wheel in the air. It's Simon Wigg entertaining the crowd here this afternoon. He's really giving that shower the big one. Simon Wigg on shower power. Lifts the front wheel again up that back straight. Gary Lobb in second place, then Vincent Kinchin. Alan Farmer, it must have been a bit off back on, but taking up the points from the rear in the field. Simon Wigg then wheeling across past that flag from number 7, Gary Lobb, from number 8, Vincent Kinchin, and Simon Wigg is absolutely on form. Simon Wigg, last week he won the Whopper, he was third in this year's Masters, he qualified for the World Long Track Final. Very consistent, Simon Wigg, up comes the front wheel again, towards the line he comes, so Wigg for Simon Wigg is third of the afternoon, unbeaten into the final, then Gary Lobb, then Vincent Kinchin. Jason Jennett, Jason Hilliard, Brian Cornelius and Alan Farmer. Well, be interesting to get Simon Wigg's time with that one. He's set up the fastest time of the day twice already here this afternoon. This could be the third time that he's done it.
No 8th, 9th or 10th finishers. Winner's time 1 minute 27.36 seconds. 1, 7, 8, 165, all the ones, 48 and 68. No other finishers. Winner's time 1 minute 27.36 seconds. That was really motoring with doing the wheelies as well. Really magnificent showman as Simon is. Over to Martin for race 30.
Well, to complete the lineup in the final, we must get this race underway. And we've got 29, Paul Mitchell, 161, Mike Webster, 174, Robin Pilcher, 215, Steve Wilson, number 2, Trevor Banks, 21, Tom Palmer, 46, Will James, 74, Duncan Tolhurst, and 139, David Mears. That's the lineup for race 30. As Don said, if the marshals can stay in their positions after race 30, because we've got a special interval attraction coming up. Meanwhile, race number 30 comes to the line. The revs build the tension mounts, the tapes flying up. They go up the straight. And it's number 2, Forever Banks that leads. Banks, he goes into the lead. Will James flies up there in second place. He will probably get in on the inside of the second side. Forever Banks leads. On the GR, Godden Racing is out in front. So Trevor Banks leads, Will James in second place, then Steve Wilson, then Duncan follows, then Tommy Palmer, David Mears, Paul Mitchell, Robin Filcher, and Mike Webster. Trevor Banks making that motor scream as he rides the turn. Trevor likes winning down here in Sussex. He likes to win in his own centre, the south-eastern centre. And he's going to go this afternoon. Trevor Banks. Inside of Trevor. Looks over his shoulder to see where Will James does start that. Will James at safe distance at the moment. Probably Will's happy with second place to try and guarantee his place in the final. Young Tom Palmer goes out with problems. Unfortunately, he's broken down with the 250 this afternoon. Now he's broken down with the 500. Bad luck there for young Tommy Palmer. So, number 2, Brother Banks it is. Long 46 is Will James, then C15, Big Will, 74, Duncan Follow. 29, Paul Mitchell, 139, David Mears. 174, Robin Filcher. And 161, Mike Webster.
Hey. Well, there.
Right, this final over 6 laps, and they're all raring to go for this 250 final. Trophy sponsored by Steve Shand of Beckley Motors, and they're away. And who's it making the break? It's Ritchie Knight makes the break and takes the lead. Ritchie Knight from John Dormer and Mark Wadsworth. Ritchie Knight setting the pace from Headfield there in the lead. Mark Wadsworth coming up from Craven Arms. John Dormer from Orpington. But it's Mark Wadsworth gets on the inside of Ritchie Knight, but Ritchie Knight comes out of that corner just in front. John Dormer pressing it going around the outside. Ritchie Knight. So it's John Dormer on the outside, then Ritchie Knight, then Mark Wadsworth on the inside, and he comes into the corner tight and goes out wide. That's John Dormer through. It's John Dormer, Ritchie Knight, Mark Wadsworth all together. There's no giving anything there. Nobody giving in. It's just John Dormer, Ritchie Knight, Mark Wadsworth, then young Carl Wilkes. And Mark Wadsworth takes the lead again from John Dormer as they go down that back straight, a little wheelie. John Dormer on his Suzuki goes into the corner there, right behind Mark Wadsworth, very tight there. But it's Mark Wadsworth, the 350 British champion, is 10 times in the lead from John Dormer, Ritchie Knight, Carl Wilkes. Dean Camier back in 6th place there. But it's Mark Wadsworth, John Dormer, Ritchie Knight, Carl Wilkes, Jason Stott, and it's still Mark Wadsworth there in the lead. Still John Dormer, Ritchie Knight, Carl Wilkes, Kevin Lanchester, Dean Camier, Ritchie Knight, Dean, get my names muddled up there because I was watching something else at the same time. Mark Wadsworth in the lead and pulling a lead there from John Dormer now, with Ritchie Knight moving up into second as they go into that top bend. Coming out of our town to take the last lap flag. It's Mark Wadsworth, Ritchie Knight and John Dormer in a great battle. Carl Wilkes, Kevin Lanchester, Dean Camier, Jason Stott, Ian Rutter, Steve Dooran, and young Terry Giles bringing up the rear as Mark Wadsworth in the lead. Then still the battle goes on for second place between Ritchie Knight and John Dormer. They both descend upon Mark Wadsworth on that last bend. It's still Mark Wadsworth in the lead from John Dormer and Ritchie Knight. Coming down to take the checkered flag. It's a win for John. Mark Wadsworth and Ritchie Knight, John Dormer, Carl Wilkes, Kevin Lanchester, Dean Camier, Jason Stott, Ian Rutter, Steve Deeren and Terry Giles. What a great race. Over to Martin for the official results.
My brain's just seized up. 94, Jason Stott. I didn't think we had a 93. I don't know what I wrote that down for. In 8th place, number 9, Ian Rutter. In 9th place, 300, Terry Giles. And in 10th place, 433, Steve Deeren. The winner's time, 2 minutes, 25.65. From the top, 344, 229, 76, 248, 143, 44, 93, 9, 300 and 433. Winner's time 2 minutes 25.65. Lining up there now, race number 32, the right hand sidecar B final. Runners are number 2, Neville Penfold and John Minton. 13, John Halsey and Chris Skipper. 99, Pete Colvin, Adam Coper Smith. 82, Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby. 87, Richard Jenner and Nick Walters. And 151, Mick Cameron and Kevin Simmons. I've got a congratulations announcement. I'm not sure if they're going to hear it down there in the pits above the noise of the bikes, but Steve Bailey, passenger to Roger Measer, became a dad last night with a baby boy, James Edward. A baby boy, James Edward, born last night, and Steve Bailey is the proud dad. So what a way to celebrate the birth of his son if he can win the Battle of Hastings here this afternoon. They leave the line, they're airing up the track now. Sidecar B final is underway and it's Pete Colvin and Adam Coper Smith that take up the run into the first turn with Neville Penfold and John Minton, then Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby, and it's full action in that first turn. Back into that next turn. Pete Colvin and Adam Coper Smith get clear now. They've gone very wide though and they've let him up the inside. Neville Penfold's come up on the inside. Surely he's taken it. Yes, he's taken the lead. 99, Pete Colvin then in second place. Stephen Turner back up to third. John Halsey back down to fourth. Neville Penfold and John Minton lead then. Really giving it a big one out of that turn. Penfold and John Minton from Pete Colvin and Tony and Adam Coper Smith, then Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby still holding on to third. This is Grasstrack racing, anything can happen. Mick Cameron and Kevin Simmons are now moving up in 5th place. Neville Penfold and John Minton from Pete Colvin, Adam Coper Smith, then Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby. John Halsey and Chris Skipper going to the inside line on Stephen Turner. Closing up on the back of Stephen Turner. Meanwhile, out in front, Neville Penfold and John Minton giving it the big one. Pete Colvin and Adam Coper Smith chasing hard, holding on to that second place. Then John Halsey and Chris Skipper, then Stephen Turner and Tony Baseby, then Mick Cameron, then Kevin Simmons and Mick Cameron. On in the front line, they're coming around this turn and this time they will see the last lap flag in front of them. It's number 2, Neville Penfold and John Minton. Pete Colvin and Adam Coper Smith haven't given up an inch, they're still in there. John Halsey and Chris Skipper, then Mick Cameron and Kevin Simmons. But Neville Penfold cracks the throttle on early, he's sure to win. He comes out of there, has a look behind him, sees where the opposition is. A win for Neville Penfold and John Minton. From number 99, Pete Colvin and Adam Cooper Smith. Then number 13, John Halsey and Chris Skipper. 151, Mick Cameron and Kevin Simmons. Then Stephen Turner and Tony Batesby. Then Richard Jenner and Nick Walters. Thrilling final that was for the right-hand sidecar B, and I'm sure we're in for some wonderful racing now. The next race on will be the B final with the 500cc solos.
To A, the 500cc solo B final. Right, with the 500 solo B final, Chris Tritton, Dave Steen, Darren Sutton, Peter Lloyd, Jason Jeanette, Paul Mitchell, Ricky Sanford, Jason Hilliard, Tommy Palmer and David Mears. Should be a good one. It's only a B final, but it will be a good one. Some good riders in this. Chris Tritton, new South Eastern Centre champion there in this, and they're away. And it's Chris Tritton gets a good start there. Dave Steen in the lead there. Chris Tritton in second. Then Jason Jeanette, Ricky Sanford, David Mears. Dave Steen comes from Wokingham in Surrey on a BRM, not a Godden. But it's Dave Steen, the female rider in the lead from Chris Tritton. Then Steve Wilson, Ricky Sanford, Jason Jeanette, David Mears. And the pressure's on in the front there. Dave Steen increasing his lead from Chris Tritton, Ricky Sanford, and a good scrap going on there between David Mears and Jason Jeanette, then Paul Mitchell, then Jason Hilliard, and Darren Sutton bringing up the wheel. The leader comes by, still followed by Chris Tritton, Ricky Sanford, David Mears, Jason Jeanette, Paul Mitchell, Jason Hilliard and Darren Sutton. Position's not changing much now as Dave Steen well out in the lead. Chris Tritton doesn't seem to be out of catch us. Dave Steen on the PRM and going well. Still Chris Tritton, Ricky Sanford, David Mears, Paul Mitchell, Jason Jeanette, Jason Hilliard and Darren Sutton. And still getting spread out as Chris Tritton still can't make any impression of getting closer to Dave Steen. Dave Steen pounding on, coming down now to take the last lap flag. Dave Steen, Chris Tritton, Ricky Sanford, David Mears, Paul Mitchell, and the gap between Dave Steen and Chris Tritton getting even bigger. As Dave Steen comes around the top end of the last time up now, out to bend, now to take the checker flag. Oh, in there for David Steen. From Chris Tritton in second, Ricky Sanford in third. David Mears in fourth, Paul Mitchell in fifth, Jason Hilliard in sixth, and Darren Sutton bringing up the rear. Jason Jeanette, I think. Somebody dropped it up the top there.
It'll rush away at the end of the meeting. I know that Don's going to do a bit of interviewing on the microphone and get some of the riders of yesteryear here, plus those riders are going to be doing some of the presentations here this afternoon. So a little bit of nostalgia here this afternoon. So the 500cc solo final comes to the line. We have number 1, Simon Wigg, 17, Joe Screen. Number 2, Trevor Banks. Number 7, Gary Lobb. 46, Will James. 86, Paul Hurry. 8, Vincent Kinkin. 68, Alan Farmer. 215, Steve Wilson. And 74, Duncan Tolhurst. That's the lineup for race number 33. Place your bets. They're underway. Down the first straight they go, and Simon Wigg gets the best of the start. Simon Wigg is away. Joe Screen's on the outside. Trevor Banks is up in the second place. Duncan Tolhurst comes alongside Joe Screen, but Joe Screen is forward to the third. Simon Wigg gets underway. Simon Wigg from Trevor Banks, from Joe Screen, from Will James, then Duncan Tolhurst, then Vincent Kinchin. So Simon Wigg seems to drift a little wide round that turn, but he's got plenty of motor on and he's pulling away. Joe Screen nips up the inside of Trevor Banks, but he's a long way back from Simon Wigg. Simon Wigg is out there. He wants that silver helmet. He wants his bag. Cracking on the power on that tower. He's heading home. Simon Wigg, Joe Screen, Trevor Banks, Will James, Duncan Tolhurst, Vincent Kinchin, Gary Lobb, Steve Wilson, Paul Hurry. And I didn't quite catch the last man round. Alan Farmer, there we go. Number one, Simon Wigg going long wide inside. Number one, he hasn't got time for Wigg. Joe Screen seems to have absolutely no answer to him at the moment. And then Trevor Banks is a long way back in third. Will James in a comfortable fall. But Simon Wigg is pulling away from the rest of the field. Joe Screen seems to have no answer. To be taking place on the rostrum though. Round they come. Simon Wigg, Joe Screen, Trevor Banks, Will James, Duncan Tolhurst, and the rest of the field. Simon Wigg now just pulling away from the rest of them. Time for a wheelie from Simon Wigg. He's happy now that he's got a comfortable lead over Joe Screen. Joe Screen doesn't seem to be going to settle for a couple of seconds. Coming down to take the last lap and another wheelie from Simon Wigg. 17, Joe Screen, Trevor Banks, and Will James, and the red flag is out. The red flag is out. We have a man on the course down there. Two men actually fallen together, and the red flag has gone. So we'll have to count the laps to see whether there will be a rerun or whether the race will be left. Simon Wigg and Joe Screen wheeling their way around the circuit there for the benefit of the spectators here this afternoon. Certainly an entertaining pair. Looking at each other, not too sure whether we're going to get a rerun or whether it'll be left as it was. Look at those wheeling pair down there. Simon Wigg and Joe Screen. And Trevor Banks wondering what it's all about. Have we got to go and do it again? Or will the result stand? Wigg, winner of the Whopper last week, winner of this week. The two big ones still to come with the Ace of Aces and the Bonfire Burner. Haven't given the Bonfire Burner a plug yet this afternoon. Perhaps we'll get that out before the end of the meeting. Oh, Tom tells me he has, so I must have missed that. Here comes Simon Wigg. Quickly the result. A win for number one, Simon Wigg. In second place, 17, Joe Screen. In third place, number two, Trevor Banks. In fourth place, 46, Will James. In fifth place, 74, Duncan Tolhurst. In sixth place, number 8, Vincent Kinchin. In seventh place, 86, can't turn it now, Paul Hurry. And in eighth place, number 68, Alan Farmer. No 9th or 10th finishes. The winner's time not available as it was stopped after 5 laps. Well, Reggie Luckhurst there, over to Don for the presentation.
Yes, I am here. That does fit Simon, and what a lovely boy he looks there with the smile on his face. Reg, you're going to do a lap of honour with him. Reg Luckhurst is going around with the checker flag on the back of Simon there. Reg has been a past winner many times of the silver helmet, and it's nice to see Reg back here. Sitting astride a bike as well. I mean, perhaps he might have visions of coming back for the past Masters if his wife lets him. Well, give your cheers to Simon Wigg there, please, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. If you toot your hooters and flash your lights and generally show your appreciation for a very worthy winner who's put on a lot of entertainment for you this afternoon with his wheelies. I don't think it's likely to do a wheelie with Reg on the back there, but you never know. Well, at least they're clapping around there. We can't hear the cheering. As you heard earlier on when I interviewed Reg, he said that the bikes are definitely going faster. He's sitting astride that one with Simon, and that is a very, very fast Jawa, which I think is hand Zerk tuned. Come on, let's hear some cheering up there for Simon Wigg with Reggie Luckhurst on the back there. Come on, a few horns tooting and the flashing of lights. Come on. Well, right, now on to the sidecar final, and this once again is going to be a cracker. Over to Martin for this, to fill you in on the riders.
Race 34, the last race of the afternoon, and it's going to be a fantastic ding-dong battle. Level on points, and at the top, numbers 4 and 24, Steve Jewison and Dave Ward, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Then level again on number 15, Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowes, and 51, Roger Meza and the proud dad, Steve Bailey. And following on from that, number 6, Rustling and Paul Uriotz, and 23, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola. The lineup for race number 34. As they line up there, who's he going to be? Steve Jewison, Roger Meza, Rob Wilson, Rustling, Gary Jackson. Who's it going to be? They're coming up the straight now very fast indeed. Will it be Ivor Matthews? Ivor Matthews has gone into the lead. And Roger Measer's gone out in front and cut right across the pack. Back in third place is number 4, Steve Jewison and Dave Ward. They're coming around the outside, or trying to come around the outside of Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowes at the moment. But Roger Measer's got it all his own way. In hot pursuit then Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowes, and then number 4, Steve Jewison. He's gone up into second place. And the remaining of the 6 laps to do it. Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola unfortunately out on the centre green with trouble, leaving only 5 outfits in this race. And Roger Meza drifts a bit wide. Steve Jewison cuts up on the inside, and they're really going for it. 51, Roger Meza and Steve Bailey, and look at them, well played up there, boy. Leads into that turn, and Steve Jewison comes up on the outside, slides a little bit too much, cuts up on the inside. What's going to happen here? Roger Meza goes wide, Steve Jewison nips up on the inside. It's very close. They come past the commentary box. They're almost side by side. You could get them both in the back of a van. And Steve Jewison goes up the inside and goes past. Right through the inside. Roger Meza lines down the gate. Steve Jewison and Dave Ward. Many injuries they've had over the last 12 months, but they're really back with a vengeance, and they're coming round that turn with 2 laps to go. Steve Jewison and Dave Ward, Roger Meza and Steve Bailey, Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowes, Rustling, Roger Meza cuts up to the side of Steve Jewison out with trouble. Steve Jewison breaks down, and rushes into this race lead. Roger Meza takes up the run in then. Bad luck there for Steve Jewison. Last lap flag goes. It's Roger Meza now all the way. Roger Meza with the proud father on the back, leading the Battle of Hastings. Are out in front. Out of that turn they come. Consistent riding, sheer reliability, crosses the line in first place. Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowes a good second. Rustling and Paul Uriotz in third. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones disappointing, I think, in fourth. And quite see now Gary Jackson got his machine going again. I thought he wasn't in there, but Gary Jackson did cross the line at the finish. Over to Don for the official result of race 34.
The right-hand side car A final, sponsored by Mick Potter of Potter's Turf and Topsoil from Bromley, was a win there for number 51, Roger Measer and Steve Bailey. Second was 15, Ivor Matthews and Mick Dowles. Third was number 6, Russell Ing and Paul Uritz. Fourth was 24, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. And fifth was number 23, Gary Jackson and Matthew Fumarola. Winners time, no 6 finisher. Winners time, 2 minutes, 35.01 seconds. Again, 51, 15, 6, 24, 23, no 6 finisher. Winners time, 2 minutes, 35.01 seconds. Well, that's it for racing today, ladies and gentlemen. I sincerely hope you've enjoyed it. There's been some fantastic racing on a well-organised track here. Conditions ideal, not too much dust. They haven't had to water. The track was well prepared. Didn't cut up too bad. And all in all, some fine racing. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope to see you all next week at Woolpack Corner, Bindon. For those of you that are staying on to see the presentation of trophies and to meet some of the old solo riders, past members of South Eastern Riders Association, please do so.